On Tuesday night, the American people voted for change, but left the rest of the world wondering, what sort of change? Hello, and welcome to GPI Forward. I'm Ragan. Joining me, Baris Ornarli, Washington representative of the Turkish Industry and Business Association. In politics and social spheres, change is often a good thing, but how is it regarded in business spheres?
The biggest question is, of course, uncertainty, or that is the biggest problem. President-elect Trump, during the campaign, didn't necessarily provide a great amount of detail with respect to his policies, not only in the economic sphere, but also in foreign policy and domestic issues. So there is a degree of uncertainty which might be unnerving for markets and investors and business people. Nevertheless, immediately after the election, especially when he spoke in a conciliatory tone during his victory speech, markets did stabilize. It settled down. Businesses are looking forward to whether he will actually proceed with increasing investments in infrastructure. He appears to have a pro-business approach. That's probably going to be welcomed by business people and investors. The only question, I think, is with respect to his approach to trade policy.
Yeah, what will some of the effects on the international world be from his trade policies or possible policies?
If we look at his campaign especially, he had expressed a very protectionist approach to trade. He has indeed said that he would withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, that he would consider withdrawing from the World Trade Organization. He has expressed increasing tariffs on goods being imported from China and Mexico. These are probably going to be disruptive to markets, especially in the United States. It risks increasing consumer prices on many of the goods that we use. So businesses are concerned about these types of policies that might lead to a trade war. So it remains to be seen whether he'll actually implement these policies, but the two questions are his approach to trade policy and the greater issue of uncertainty.
Now, change is not always necessarily a bad thing. From a perspective of a Turkish Business Association, what kind of positive changes could you hope to see come from U.S.-Turkish business relations?
Well, President-elect Trump, as a business person, as a real estate developer, as an investor, he has a business relationship with Turkey. He has had business relationships with investors inside of Turkey. So that is something that could be utilized and leveraged. So that is a positive thing. Up until now, as you know, the U.S.-Turkey economic relationship is performing far below its potential. So this needs to be increased. Up until now, most in the business world have argued that trade liberalization is the next natural step to increase business ties, trade relationship, commerce between these two countries.
Now, for those of us who don't deal in international trade every day, what do you mean by trade liberalization?
To open up markets, to lower barriers to trade, and of course I'm referring specifically to the Transatlantic Trade Investment Partnership, the TTIP agreement between the United States and Europe. This agreement, the negotiations have started. It has proceeded far slower than we have anticipated. And knowing President-elect Trump's protectionist approach to trade, that doesn't necessarily bode well for TTIP. And that is an issue of concern going forward in the U.S.-Turkey economic relationship.
How do you see Turkey and the U.S. moving forward from here?
Well, with the new administration, it's always an opportunity to kind of reset, refresh. You can see it as a clean page, a clean slate in the relationship. So going forward, in the short term, I'm sure the relationship will improve. It will proceed in a positive direction. Ultimately, despite the fact that President-elect Trump hasn't offered much detail in terms of his policies, we know certain things. And the most important thing here to keep in mind is no matter what, and no matter how different his foreign policy might be from that of President Obama's or Secretary Clinton's, the United States and Turkey have a formal alliance. They are NATO allies. So despite any significant changes in policy, the relationship will certainly proceed within the framework of strategic partners and those of allies.
Thank you. It looks like moving forward, there's chances for stumbling, but also some opportunity for growth and some movement between the U.S. and Turkey to continue their traditional strong relationship. Thank you for joining us. For GPI Forward, I'm Ragan. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.